Hello, welcome to the Gers TV, and my name is Si Leslie. We've got Lewis and Gordy. How we doing, guys?
Aye, good. All good. Yourself, Gordy?
Yeah, very well.
Yourself, Si?
Aye, all good. I'm a bit disappointed at the result of the weekend, but the transfer market I'm quite happy with, and we'll have a chat about that. And also a shout we've got Linda behind the scenes tonight, who's going to be helping us for the next couple of weeks. So if you're getting abuse on the comments, it's no for us. Put that out there, don't you? Right, so where do we want to start, guys? At the beginning, weekend, talk about the Kilmarnock game. No, talk about the Hibs game. Kilmarnock's tomorrow night.
The beginning's always a good place to start, I find.
I was going to the end. And by the way, the dog is going to get done in a minute because she's starting to drink your coffee. She's bad enough on water, never mind fucking coffee.
Yeah, and if you're wondering where Scotland's supply of gold bullions went, it's around the dog's neck. So, 0-0, Hibs, Sunday. Lewis, what's your side? I did a wee show on Sunday afternoon about it. So, Lewis, you want to start off and tell us your thoughts on the game, mate?
A bit of a stalemate, to be honest, mate. I think we were lucky to come away with a draw. Lucky to not concede any. The amount of chances that Hibs had. I think another game that Jack Bullen kept us in the game. I thought there was times we defended well, but going forward, it's not good. It's not good enough. But that saying, Mikey Mills goal should have stood.
17 goals now that Rangers have had chopped off. I thought it was offside at the time, but that's because of the angle. That's because of the angle that Sky's showing you. And remember, I spoke about this last week. Sky know the results before the referee does nowadays. There's something not right there. 17 goals.
I'm sure it's because it's a Sky setup. And Sky have set up the infrastructure, I'm sure, for the VAR now. So they're controlling or they're organising and supplying the cameras and the technology. I'm fairly certain that's the case.
It could be, but the point I'm making was, remember a couple of weeks ago, Gordy, can't remember the game now, remember in a minute, where there was
Was it a Hearts game, maybe?
Was it a Hearts game where the goal looked offside because of the line, and then we spotted a boot, and then at half time it didn't show you that line anymore. The line, then it showed you a different goal or a different angle altogether. So this has happened 17 times for Rangers, right? I know every one of them's a goal, but 17 goals is double what Celtic and everybody else in the league's got.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous now. And obviously, I mean, the referees and linesmen, VAR assistants make mistakes, right? We get that, but if that's the case 17 times, and at least I can count at least 4 or 5 this season which should have been goals. Then you go back to various cup finals and semi-finals where there's been big mistakes getting made as well. So I'd like to think it is just coincidence, but it's VAR was supposed to stop these incidents from happening.
If anything, it's made it worse.
Yeah. So at this point, however, I'm not one to make excuses. We didn't deserve anything out of the game, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with that.
And I just want to ask you guys your opinion on the mentality of the team on Sunday, because we've done so well to get ourselves into a title fight, and this is the games you want to go out fighting and showing your desire and energy. But I thought we were very flat, and I'd be interested to hear what you guys thought of the mentality on Sunday.
Well, let me start with something that I've read online a few times, a good comment, and I agree with this when I look back on the game. Rangers were very slow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
It seemed as if in the last 5-10 minutes of the game, it looked as if we were strolling about the park as if we were 3-0 up. We were strolling. There was no intent to actually go for the win. There was no intent. It looked as if we were actually thinking of going there and happy with a point.
Actually, just when you mention that, there's also a picture we put it on our chat about Rangers in 89 minutes in the game. Rangers need a goal, and we're about to put a cross in, and there's four Hibs players in the box and no a Rangers player. Everybody's still in defence.
Yeah,
in midfield.
You're right.
Yeah, and there was times where Shamiti wasn't wanting to take a shot on. You'd rather try and set somebody else up. And you think to yourself, if you're a striker, it's your job to score goals. You should have that desire, and you should have that arrogance to take a shot on. You said about walking into the net. I agree with that. We try to do that too often. And there's just all season there's been there's something not quite right about our top 3 or top 4 at times. Something's not, whether it's the final ball, the final dribble, the final pass, the final shot. There's something been off. There's been something been off with it all season.
I hope I'm wrong when I say this, but it's almost as if they're doubting themselves. It's almost as if they're ready to shoot, but they haven't got the balls. They haven't got anybody like Morelos kind of player.
I don't think they've got any reason to doubt themselves, considering how good the squad's been for the last 2 or 3 months
No, I agree with you, but that's how they look.
I don't know. I agree with you, but they've absolutely no reason to doubt themselves if they're going forward. Don't get me wrong. We've not really been scoring the most amount of goals, but we're not conceding. We're still winning games. So
I mean, I did say on the chat, and I stand by this, we had to get a striker before that game. And that big boy that we're signed, we'll talk about in a minute. We should have had him in before. There's no reason why we couldn't have got him in before it. And see anybody that would have took a chance at goal, we would have got a victory. But it just seems to be we've got these strikers that they're probably good if they've got a goal scorer beside them. But for some bizarre reason, what God they said, they don't want to pull the trigger.
Yeah, it's frustrating because you're watching the game. You just want one of our forwards to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Mikey Moore tried it to come on. Mikey Moore did come on and change things to his credit. Olsen showed the occasional flash on Sunday. He faded towards the end because he was tired.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he should be starting games at the moment. He probably needs a few weeks to get up to speed. Gassam had his off game. I can't remember Gassam having any influence in the game whatsoever. And Shamiti is, to be fair to Shamiti, he is like putting himself about the place now, and he is trying to disrupt the Hibs defence. But a lot of time he's up there himself, and when he does get an opportunity, he's looking to try and set somebody else up rather than shoot.
Maybe a good description as a balance, wasn't it, right, at the weekend? Because in terms of up front, we didn't look dangerous at any point, but the defence wasn't great, but it still got a clean sheet.
And as Lewis has said quite rightly, I mean, if your defence is still solid and getting the clean sheets, then you've always got a chance of winning. But these are the games that if you want to win league titles, you have to go to places like Easter Road, like Tynecastle, like Pittodrie. We've done well to win at Aberdeen and we won at Celtic Park, but we haven't won in Edinburgh. We've won once in Edinburgh this season so far, and we had a last minute penalty save by Butland to get that win.
Also, the games are, it's all right saying there's Hearts will fade away and everything else. The games are it's down to 14 now. They're slowly getting shorter. And as they're getting shorter, we're not getting much closer. We're now 6 points behind them.
Yep, and every game we don't close the gap, it gets a little bit harder. And give our Hearts credit. I've been one of the ones that've been saying they're going to fade away, but on the current evidence,
they won't,
because they're getting the wins right now with some of their best players injured or suspended. So they've done really well, and they've got a solid defence as well. They've got Finlay and Halkett in defence. And they've got a very good. We watched the game on Saturday, didn't we, Si? And they're at the front. They're going forward.
They got hammered the week before. Aye.
So,
do you know what I mean? You're talking about Hibs for a minute, right? They looked comfortable against Rangers. They've been getting pumped off everybody, but they look comfortable because they're having a cup final. And something that Danny Rowe has to learn. He mentioned in his press conference today that how aggressive Hibs were. We're going to have to learn. This team's going to need to learn quickly that every team that we play against, that's our cup final. Everybody wants to beat Rangers.
Yep, and that's why you have to come out in the first 10-15 minutes of these games and show who's the boss, show the better players are. Whereas what we try to do, we feel our way into games, we're slow, we're defensive, and we feel our way into the games. But by that point, A, it could be too late, and B, that Hibs fans and the players get their tails up.
Dare I say it as well, we probably missed Tavernier.
Absolutely, I think when Tavernier plays, I think he makes us a far better team.
Yeah,
we slag him a lot in this channel, and sometimes rightly so, right? Sometimes it's undeserved. But whenever we've seen Tavernier play this season, we're playing a lot better. The games that we've seen him dropped for, say, Max Aarons or even Joe Zellin at times, it's nowhere near being the level than what it has been and what it can be.
He's probably the best player in our team on form. He makes mistakes, but that's because he never hides. But we're going to have to replace him.
I think it's one of the first times that I've looked at the team sheet and went, here, the manager's got that wrong on Sunday. And I'm not just saying that because of hindsight, but obviously, I mean, you've got these players and you buy players. There's no point buying players putting them on the bench, right? I totally agree with that. But they're no use. The chemistry's not quite there yet with the strike force, with the attacking players. And you can't just throw a new signing in who's not, I think you said a couple of weeks ago, Lewis, he's not played since October probably. Is that right? Well, did I make that up?
Is that Olsen?
Aye. So you're throwing him in right at the deep end. And yeah, he's a good player. I've got no doubt he'll come good. But you don't throw him in too soon because that can affect his confidence as well. So I just looked at the team sheet on Sunday and I thought he might have, I think he got that wrong. But he's in charge and I'm not, and there's probably a reason for that.
For me, Sunday was the first time he got it completely wrong. He got the starting line up wrong against Celtic at Parkhead, and he changed it, and rightly so. I mean,
too late to change it at the weekend, weren't we?
Aye, exactly. It was too late. Hibs should have been 3 or 4 up at half time. I thought
it could have been.
Yeah, you're right. They had the best chances, and if it wasn't for Butland, and I've got to say some last-ditch defending. I've got to say sometimes, Suter. I'm not Suter's biggest fan, but he blocked a hell of a lot of shots on Sunday there. And again, I know I get criticised for it as well off you guys and all the viewers. I'm not Bananas' biggest fan still, but he was the only one that even going forward.
He's the only one to get a shot on target. Outside goal.
So that's crazy. So I'm starting to warm to the big fella at the back, Fernandes, to be honest. Kind of changing my opinion on him every week. And as much as, maybe he still doesn't look the finished article in defence, which is fair enough, he's only young still. He was wanting to get. He was trying to get on the end of crosses. He was trying to take shots. He was probably a most dangerous player going forward.
I mean, in general, I haven't got any worries about the defence for the rest of the season. My worry is, can we score goals? We'll talk about that in a minute. But if you don't lose goals, you shouldn't lose games. Fair enough. But you won't lose games, obviously. But in terms of going up front, it's been really shit, to be fair.
Yeah. So on that, we started with Schmidt. I think Danilo's now left the club.
Danilo's now away to Nijmegen.
I mean, that for me, that shows you the standard that, we've got this guy in for 5 million. He's probably on 25, 30 grand a week. And who does he leave Rangers for? NEC Nijmegen. Is that, And for me, that tells its own story. And we don't wish these players any bad luck. I don't wish them all the success in the world. But at the end of the day, our signings need to be better. And on that note, we brought in Derry. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Naderi.
I think
there's probably a few.
The Brigton Naderi.
There's probably a few song titles and puns in there. So can you give us one?
Aye, we'll get Naderi's walls.
So, do you think? Well, obvious question, but I need to ask it: is he will he prove to be the missing link then for the rest of the season? Do you think?
I don't think it's an obvious question because I actually don't know. I think it's a massive risk going for someone in the German third division, but don't get me wrong, you're not going to pay this sort of money for someone who's relatively unknown, right? I don't think many Rangers fans, or if any Rangers fans, knew who he was before we were linked with him. Don't think anyone really knew who he was, but he's clearly highly rated at Hansa Rostock. I've read some reviews from Hansa Rostock on sort of online forums and stuff like that, and they seem to really, really rate the boy. I think this season he averages roughly a goal every 2 games, which if a striker scores a goal every 2 games from now till the end of the season, I'm happy with that.
Well, our entire strike force hasn't quite reached those stats yet. So.
Exactly.
Well, just to go back to your question, Gordy, it'll need to be quite frankly for us to win the title. He'll need to be the answer.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pressure on him. There was a lot of pressure on Shermiti, £8 to £10 million, and he's shit himself most of the time. A lot of pressure on the boy, but he'll need to be banging in the goals. As simple as that. I think he's going to be our first choice striker. He deserves to get a run right away. I'd start him tomorrow night, and he's going to have opportunities to score. And by all accounts, he's been well coached, and the Germans seem to rate him. The German coaches at Danny Roll knows, so we've got to put a bit of trust in him. But we can't continue. We cannot continue with these guys, Shermiti and Miovski, who are all right. None of them are great. They're just all right. It isn't good enough. So, man said with that, he needs to be the answer, or we're fucked.
I disagree when you say that Miovski's all right. I've been saying this all season. I don't think we're playing him right. Considering the fact that every time you see him playing for Aberdeen, playing against your Rangers, your Celtics, even your Hibs, your Hearts, teams like that, the ball's been played in behind him. Every time Miovski's on the pitch and the ball tries to go to him, he's always coming in deep for it. He's always sort of trying to hold it up a wee bit. And that's not him. That's not his style of play. Maybe that's a line to Shermiti. But not Miovski, not absolutely not, because see the goals that he scored is either making runs in behind or he's in the right place at the right time as a striker, and that's who he is. He's not getting played like that.
Well, in terms of the board, we wanted replacements and we got 4 replacements. So we can't argue with that side yet.
I mean, exactly, and we can't say that he's not been backed either, because if you're counting Scott Olsen's fee of 9 million, if we go and buy him in the summer, we've spent around 15-20 million or so. Roughly.
Yeah, I mean, we have. You're
a lot of money.
You're absolutely right, Lewis. And Simon, the board have now backed him, and there's going to be a lot more judgment on Diana with these signings as well. And absolutely. A lot of the times, you can live or die. You live or die with your leaf form, but you live and die with your signings as well. And we've got ourselves into a title fight with the players that he had up until now. So what we need these guys to do is push us on for the title. and that's going to be a big test for the players themselves and Daniel Rule.
But he's adding somebody mentioned to the team, right? So what size is he? 6'3" or something like that?
Quite a tall boy, aye.
Right, so he's a big fella, and I know there was talk today about the Danish guy, I think he was, who's a 6'footer.
Jens Hjertedal.
That's easy for you to say. Fernandes, 6 foot. So it's obviously that we're trying to get aerial ability in the team, and it's probably a good move. I don't know if I fancy two tall strikers, but it just needs to change. Something needs to change. He's got to take a gamble, I think. And if this boy can put the ball in the net, then somebody's got to make way for him. And I don't really care if it's Shermiti and Miovski swap him. Yeah. It doesn't matter. What matters is about Rangers. It's okay, what matters. Yeah. Whoever can adapt to play with the big fella gets the game.
Yeah, you've got to take the emotion out of it and say to yourself, you're playing for Rangers. We can't afford we can't afford strikers to play 20 games and only bang in 3 or 4 goals. It's not good enough for centre forward for Rangers. I'm going to ask you a quick question, right? Because it's something we have discussed before about not going for Scottish talent. If you look at what we've actually now spent on Ndiaye, it's close to 5 million. Is that right?
Well, it was initially going to be 3.5 million, but I know it's spent up to 5.5 because
we managed to negotiate up the way.
well, here's the thing, right? We basically had to pay that 2 million if we wanted to buy him now instead of him coming in the summer. Hansa Rostock wanted us to pay 3.5 million for him to come in the summer.
Right answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the question I'm going to ask, guys, if it's okay, is Kieran Bowes just went to Italy for Hibs for not, when you look at it, actually not that much more, right? Now, I believe they've both got roughly the same amount of goals this season. Kieran Bowes is a young Scottish talent who's played in the SPL and scored in Europe. Got an absolute belter in Europe, actually. Now, he's been inconsistent, but I believe he's got about 7-8 goals this season, which is about the same as this new guy. So, what's stopping us from getting the best Scottish talent?
Just because they're Scottish doesn't mean they're good enough, but that's the thing.
I think, just to answer your question, Gordy, it's not just Scottish talent; it's talent in Scotland.
Yeah.
Because
That's not.
And it's a major problem because I don't want to be shitting on the parade, but Danny Rowe's trying to do it. I'm firmly behind him and the coaching staff. However, there's a terrible snobbery in Scottish football with Rangers. It's costing us money. It's costing us players that we can never get back again, like Lewis Ferguson. It needs to stop because you're 100% right. If these guys are already doing it in the Scottish League, they're proven ability and they know what it takes to be a Rangers player, and we then go and buy other players in different leagues, and we've got to wait. Like Olsen, for an example, he might be good in about 4 or 5 weeks, or the title could be gone by then. So snobbery.
I'm going to make a wee point here. Obviously, Danny Rowe said just at the start of the transfer window, or even before the transfer window, I can't quite mind that we weren't going to turn up our noses at any young Scottish talent. Now we never signed any young Scottish talent in the window. So was that empty comments from Danny Rowe, or do you think there was genuine intent to go for your players like your David Watsons, even your Kieran Bowes, etc.? Do you think there was genuine intent?
It's happening too many times. There's snobbery. They obviously think that these players are, for example, right, how many times I mentioned it, right, never even put a bid in for Gogic.
Yeah. Plus,
so they'll class him as not good enough.
Yep.
But he's better than Giga.
David Watson's apparently going to sign for Aberdeen. I think David Watson's star has went down a bit in the last 6 months. I remember last season I was touting him, and he was not that my agent and that. Sorry, but I was just touting him for a move, and I think he was Young Player of the Year last season. Now Kilmarnock have been in very poor form this season, so like all the players that he's dipped in probably in value and in not ability but form at least. So I can maybe understand that, but again, he's a player with real raw talent. He's young, and even if he comes to Rangers and doesn't quite cut it, he still plays a few games. He's still selling for a couple of million. Yeah. So there's no for somebody like David Watson at Kilmarnock. There's no gamble in that because you're getting him for. We would have got him for $250,000, $500,000 at the most because of a contract, right? And then even if he doesn't quite cut it, you still sell him for $1.5-2 million. There's no risk there. Whereas we do the other side of the coin. We go for the guys like Danilo for $5 million. They don't cut it, and then we let him go on a free.
I don't in any way think that we're not having to go to boy Naderi, whatever his fucking name is.
Naderi. Simon, hope you're okay.
We're not going to go to him. It's just the fact that I think all the great Rangers teams have had a Scottish influence on it, right? And naturally they're a Scottish team. Or a British team, if you want to class it as, like when they had Butcher, Norrie, or the English talent that was fantastic, Ray Wilkins, Gaza. But you need to have an identity and it's not just role. It's somebody at the club needs to be expecting them. You have to have a. Last night I was speaking about Barry Ferguson. You have to have guys in the team who are going to go the extra mile. The famous game against Aberdeen when half of the team are injured in the 90s. Half of the team are injured. They're taking injections and that. Players that will do that wee bit extra to play for the club. Foreign players won't do that. And do you know why? Because why would they? If you got a job in a foreign company and you're getting big money and you didn't need to kick your arse, you wouldn't do it.
Aye, well, I mean, are we actually comment here from Peter, which I was just about to come on to. I can read it anyways, it's alright.
Alright.
Look at that, you're your age. Listen, it catches up to you.
yourself, Simon.
I better take advantage of it whilst I'm still young. Just a wee comment here for Peter. A lot of times other Scottish clubs either refuse to sell to us or hike up the price to stupid money. That's a point that I was just about to come on to.
Well, United as example.
Exactly. I mean, look at even Maswinisi. I don't think there was any sort of concrete interest with him, but apparently Motherwell won $5.5 million for a player that's out of contract in 6 months, and he's been fantastic for Motherwell. He's their best player by an absolute country mile.
There's also an answer to what Peter said. Why we not bringing the young Scottish talent through? Why they why they all going to Motherwell? Why they not coming to Rangers?
That's a good comment. I was about to come on. Aye. I mean,
got to hang it
I mean, he's giving all young talent away on loan instead of playing them. That was just about what I was about to come on to. Finlay Curtis.
Is it anything? You're stealing everybody's stealing your thunder tonight.
Finlay Curtis. Obviously going to Kilmarnock. It's a bit of a strange one. I thought we were going to be quite hesitant because for the last few weeks or so it looked pretty much dead on that it was going to happen.
What else did that boy have done in terms of playing wise?
He
came out against Ludogorets. He was absolutely fantastic. Then I think he came on the league game afterwards as well. Played well. And then even away in Porto, I thought he actually had a not bad game considering. I mean, well, the team wasn't great, but I thought he was one of the ones that got pass marks for me.
It seems to be everybody that watches the show, ourselves, all the comments that you get in the last couple of weeks, there's a snobbery. And that's costing us money.
Yeah, and I get, but what Peter's saying is absolutely right. We would pay a premium for getting talent off SPL clubs, right? I totally get that. But see, at the end of the day, you're taking a bit of a gamble. But do you take a gamble on a guy from the German third division who's got okay goal scoring record, or do you take a gamble on a Scottish player who's got an okay goal scoring record? Do you know what I mean? It's like
the answer to that, right? If Rangers going to win the league, Danny Rose, the hero, the genius, and everything else, but long term, we can't be exactly what you said a couple of months ago, Gordon. We can't keep watching these players disappear out of Scottish football, and then years later we're going, how can we not bring them back because they cost too much? Short term, it will probably work. I think this big German boy I think he'll be a success. I'm not trying to knock what we're doing, but there's too much Scottish talent. Remember, a lot of these young boys have grew up. Their ambition is to play for Rangers.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, right, but if anyone thinks that somebody like Kieran Bowie is good enough for Serie A, but not good enough to play for Rangers in the SPL, then you're wrong.
Exactly.
If Serie A, if clubs in Serie A can take a gamble on these players, then they must be seeing something. And I don't. We're waiting weeks and weeks into transfer windows to buy players. Then because we're leaving at the last minute, we're having to pay 20-25% more. When we could have went to Hibs at the start of the transfer window, we'll give you $5.5 million, take it or leave it. They say leave it, that's fine. Then you go for Derry, or you go for him as well. It's just I just think we're missing a trick. And these guys are now going for, these guys are now worth 20, 25, 30 million, and we're just missing out on this, and it's a shame. I feel quite bad.
Aye, well, that's kind of the whole Scottish players going to Italy. I think that seems to be the sort of new trend. I mean, it's all started with Aaron Hickey going to Bologna, even Louis Ferguson, even Josh Doyle going to Sassuolo as well. I mean, you've got Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmore who both went in Napoli and both excelled, especially.
The agents will be pushing that. They must have.
Absolutely. I mean, recently seen Lennon Miller going to Udinese, then obviously just there Kieran Bowie going to Hellas Verona.
That's another one that they missed out on as well.
Lennon Miller, yep.
It's almost a full team of Scottish players that went abroad that we haven't been for.
That's the thing, but
we're taking gambles on unproven foreign players.
There's Big Boffy, but
there's Boffy again as a comment here.
Adverts for the calendar.
Good to see Boffy's essay writing's not getting any worse.
It's good to see he's sober. He can type that much. Right, he says why to read that out.
I'll read it out. Right, a wee comment for Boffy here for Colin Morrison. gutted to see Finlay Curtis go out on loan, but I think they're all maybe playing the long game, thinking of getting him back in the summer, a far better player. And Romy must trust what he has done so far with what he took over. He definitely deserves our trust. Let's hope it's justified. Yeah, but I think Finlay Curtis can get regular game time at Rangers right now.
So yeah,
I think he can, because if he's good enough or not, he can be good enough.
it's back to what I'm saying. If it works out, if it works out, and Rangers win the title, people forget about it.
Aye.
But see if it doesn't, and Curtis plays brilliant for Kilmarnock, people are going to go like that themselves. Why is he not playing brilliant for us? Why have you not got him?
No, he's not signed. Matrix Break 77 has Jens Dahl Norwegian
I
midfielder
don't think
signed.
we're
Not
signing
yet.
him for this season anyway.
Not yet.
I think we're signing him for next season.
Well, I'm not actually too sure what the Norwegian transfer deadline is, because I believe this season is over right now. I think we've just came at the end of the Norwegian season. I think all Scandinavian teams are the same. So I'm actually not too sure. I think their window might actually be open for another month.
Yeah, there are quite a few Scandinavian clubs that are still in Europa League, Champions League, and whatnot. So they'll probably want to keep some of their players for that.
Absolutely,
The guy that Blodo Glint we spoke about last week. I think he's going to stay because he wants to. I think Blodo Glint might win the last.
Centre forward.
Centre
forward.
Greatly organised team.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of model we want to go for. You know what I mean? Keep get players for.
Don't know. Hopefully. All good now.
Good.
No. Well, no, I was just comments for the page. That's alright. We'll just give a wee minute or so. Back on. Right, anyways, what are we talking about there? I got distracted.
So I mean, these guys, like, it's difficult for us to get players out of the squad because they're just not good enough. I mean, obviously there was a couple of rumours in transfer window about a player's right, but I don't really believe for 1 second that a club like Fenerbahce would bid 13 million for Shumiti, right? And they flat out denied it. Maybe they did, but I just don't believe that. So the guys that are leaving our clubs are going to Hull City, they're going to Norwich, they're going to NEC, Nijmegen, right? It's not as if they're.
It's the same kind of clubs that we were buying players for at the start of the season.
Aye, so
if
we can get these players out and rotate the players and get some better players in. I mean, I think the players we brought in are better than the ones that went out. So that's a positive at least. It's just.
Back on, right?
I think so.
It's just still a bit worried about transfer policy. If I'm being totally honest, but yeah, I think these guys had to leave and freed up some wages, obviously for.
Although the January window is the hardest window.
Oh yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot of activity in the Premier League down south either. It was quite flat. I think there was a couple of rumours and a couple of things collapsed last minute, but there wasn't really much activity actually in the Premier League. So and
it's a hard one.
there's a lot of because either you have to go for players that are out of form, not getting a game, or players that are in form that no club wants to sell, so the price is doubled.
Yeah. Gonna ask a wee question here, guys. Obviously, four new signings in the door. Only two of them we've seen play for Rangers so far. Obviously, Naderi announced last night, and I think Romans is still yet to feature for the next week or two. But out of these four signings, which one are you most excited for?
Olsen, I think he's ability wise and pedigree wise and potential wise, he could be a great player. I'm really happy we signed him, and I hope he shows enough to get to sign him long term. I really think he could be a fantastic player for us. But the jury's still out because he's not come in and set the world on fire. However, you've seen tiny little glimpses of it. But I think that Olsen could be that player.
Olsen, to me, he doesn't look fit at all. I've got to be honest. He looks completely off the pace, but he's got a big reputation. He makes a lot of runs where we don't play the bottom. I've noticed that for some bizarre reason. But we've got a new striker in as well, Naderi. He's the guy I think will possibly be expected to make the change in it. But I actually think, I forgot the boy's name, the left back we signed, Romans is probably going to be the biggest change in it. And that might be the guy that just anchors up the defence for us. We need to give him a chance, but I'd be getting him in as soon as they're fit, getting him in playing. I don't like this, we can't play them tomorrow night, it's too soon, that kind of stuff. Get him in, and then you've got the game at the weekend, you've got Queen's Park at the weekend. Should be an easier game, although they knocked us out last year, so you've got to remember that. I know. You need to remember that. So you want to get them in and get them hitting the ground as quick as possible. We don't have 4 and 5 games to wait and bring them on as subs and all that. Get them, get the crowd roaring, the fans roaring for them coming on 20 minutes into a game. Get them started on Wednesday night. If they're fit enough, get them playing.
Aye, well, the one I'm most excited for is the only one that you never actually mentioned there, Chiquani.
Oh no,
I
don't fancy him at all.
Really. I've actually quite liked the look of him in the last few games. Don't get me wrong. I don't think did they actually play on Sunday?
Yeah.
I thought he came on a bit. He thought he came on as a sub at half time. He played the whole game. Absolutely not rotten.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think he actually had his best of games against Hibs on Sunday, but no one did really. No one actually had a good game apart from maybe Jack Butland and maybe Fernandez. That's the only really two players I can give pass marks to on Sunday, so I can't really judge him off for that. But the 2 or 3 games before that, I've been really impressed with him. I've liked him. He can make those runs going forward. I mean, you can see he's not an attacking player when he's getting the chances to put the ball away. I mean, you've seen against Dundee, he had a massive chance to put us ahead. Actually, I think we were still 0-0. I think it was in the first half.
Took an extra touch. Off it.
Took it on his weaker foot as well, but I still do really like the look of him. I'll be honest, I disagree with you. It's like,
I mean, that's a problem that you say there, his weaker foot. Football players shouldn't have a weaker foot. I don't care, man. They should. The professional football players are getting paid thousands a week. I can't hit the ball with my left foot. That's bollocks, man. If they can't, well, do you know what? See training for the next 5 weeks. Start doing it. He was right in front of goals and he took 2 touches to shoot. And we buy these players that constantly don't want to score. I'm hoping the big German's going to prove that and change it. The other thing is we buy players that are not ready. How many times Celtic bought their striker at the weekend and he goes and scores 2 goals? Our guys will be ready in 5 weeks. We can't. That's 5 years and 6 years in a row. We've been buying players that are not ready. They'll be ready soon. How is that consistently happening?
Yeah, I mean, if you look, obviously, other teams have strengthened. Hearts brought in a couple of new players. They look very promising. They've hit the ground running as well. I think they brought in Boy Leonard, who had a really good game Saturday night. His first game for Hearts. So these other clubs are identifying players that can slot straight into teams, straight into their teams and add value and add quality straight away. We have to hope that we have to hope that that's the same for us.
Aye. Pardon a buzzing noise now, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about the wee technical faults we're having tonight. All good. All good. All sorted.
Also, I've got to say, I know this is a Rangers show, but Aberdeen have brought a midfielder in for Hoffenheim, Dennis Geigler. I don't know if that's pronounced it properly.
It's definitely pronounced Aberdeen.
He's actually a very, very good player.
I agree with you.
It's a bit of a steal.
I watched that. I've seen some of the players.
And I'm going to be honest, a player that Hibs signed as well, Felix Passlack,
great ball winner.
Borussia Dortmund as well, recently signed from VfL Bochum. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's a fantastic signing for Hibs. Even the boy Dane Scarlett as well. Yeah. They brought in on loan for Tottenham. I think he was on loan actually in the Eredivisie. I believe Alkmaar possibly. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he's been on loan at some semi-decent clubs across Europe, and he's impressed. So I think that's a fantastic signing for Hibs. Fair play. A lot of these Scottish teams who are sort of low, with all due respect, lower level, your teams like Aberdeen, your Hibs and stuff like that, they're nowhere near the level of Rangers and Celtic, even. But they're bringing in these top talent. Team players like your Felix Paslaks, yeah, Dennis Geiger as well, and even that boy Dennis Scarlett, I'd be happy if those boys signed for Rangers. So why are we not going in for these sort of players? I mean, look at Felix Paslak and Dennis Geiger, both German players, both players that Danny Rowe's probably more than aware of.
Back to what I'm saying,
if these sort of teams are going for these players, why aren't we?
and it's back to what I'm saying. You'll probably find all these guys are ready to hit the ground running, and their players will be ready in March. Do you know what I mean? What the fuck's going on with that? It's not. How many times has it happened in the January window? We buy players, but they'll be ready soon. But left back's no kicked a ball yet.
Yeah, and we've got a really, really, really important stretch of games coming up.
Starting
tomorrow. We play
Motherwell. Started on Sunday.
We play Motherwell away. We also play Hearts and Celtic at home. Season defining stretch.
They need to be ready.
These new players, they're dying rotating a gamble. The board have backed them. So these guys need to make an impact, and I'm still positive they will. It's just we've got obviously we game against Kelly tomorrow night. We've got then Queen's Park on Sunday, which is a game we should be winning quite comfortably, even though we didn't last season. These are the games you want to bring in these guys, sample Ibrox, win comfortably, maybe get a goal, hopefully set up a goal for Olsen,
create consistency,
and then momentum builds. But I think it was a mistake to throw them in a little bit early in these other games. But
I'd get them in tomorrow night. I'd get them in. There's no time like present, and we need to get momentum going. We need to get back to that's 2 games in a row with no win. We went there a wee run there. Was it 8 games undefeated? And now we've had a draw and a loss in Europe, and it was almost like a European hangover we had the other day. But that's no excuse. We need to get back into winning ways, and we need to get in it quick. Kilmarnock's more than beatable for us. And we need to get a couple of goals. Celtic get the goals at the weekend. It might come down to goal difference. I'm worried that we've left it too late with the striker with that game at the weekend. But I think we need to hit the ground running with these players. They've paid their wage. They should be ready. Get them playing.
The next 2 games should take care of themselves, I think. But they're still big games. I mean, I think every game from now on is a big game. I mean, Queen's Park. I mean, obviously, as I just said there, that game should more than take care of itself. Don't get me wrong, we've not got great memories of playing against Queen's Park in the Scottish Cup, but it's still a massive game. It's a big chance to progress in the Cup and go into the latter rounds, because it's still
French players should be coming in for that, but they don't take it too lightly.
Yeah,
I disagree with that. I always think start with your best team.
But you can still play French players on the bench.
If
there's a couple of goals, you've got to bring your French players
I bring them on when the game's taken care of. I agree with that.
Because I don't know, these are the kind of games that you don't want a new signing to get an injury or something. So if you've got enough in reserve to get through these games, and plus, I know I get the argument, but football is different from what it was even 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. The guys do a lot more running about. The games, the ball's in play longer. There's no injury time. They're running further, longer, harder. So they do, sometimes players in the rest, like human beings. And I remember two years ago, Jim Denny said the ball's only in play for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes and a half. That's now 10 minutes more. Plus you're playing an extra 5, 6, 7 minutes at the end of the game as well, or in the end of each half now as well on average. So
people can let us know their opinion. I think if we're both these players for the January window, they should be ready to play. We should be playing them. If they're not fit, then that's fair enough.
So I mean, if you guys are telling me that our fringe players aren't good enough to get past Queen's Park, then I would argue we've got a bit of a problem with our squad depth. But on the other side of the coin, as Lewis says, you said as well, Simon, these guys start the game, get a couple of goals, build momentum, so there's benefits. But I just think that sometimes modern football, the amount of games we're playing, if guys can get a rest, then take the opportunity to give them a rest. Because football is different from what it was in the olden. I hate using that phrase, but what it was, they're running far more, they're playing longer. Even when I was younger, going like we're playing, 20% more games in a season.
There's also the argument you need to remember that we were playing 3 games a week. We're going to drop that now. That's not going to be 3 games a week. That's how we're getting them in right away. If they're not fit enough to play 1 game a week, then they shouldn't be at Rangers. Simple as that.
Yeah. No, so I mean, I hate even to say this, but I'm glad Europe's actually finished this season, because now it's purely focused on domestic games. I'm just a bit. I think if you look ahead, I don't want to look too far ahead, but look after the split. we're going to have 3 away games after the split, one at Parkhead, one at Tynecastle.
And we need these guys on form, Brian.
We need these guys fit. We need these guys
But they need to be on form as well.
For sure, yeah. But it might come down to who's got the most legs, who's got the freshest team in these games. So if we can afford to rest a couple of players in a couple of games, then I would argue to go for it, because after the split, it's going to be a difficult. Always each game is difficult, but after the split, we're going to have to go to these places away from home, possibly even Pittodrie again, if I were to finish in the top 6. So we're going to have the toughest of the post-split fixtures. So
possibly, but up to last week we were the team to beat, and we need to get that momentum going again. Plus, I want to have a team of players who, if you drop them for a game, whether it's a Scottish Cup or anything, they're absolutely fuming that they want to play 3 games a week. If there's 4 games, they'll play 4. That they want to play for the club, they want to get involved. See these guys that are happy to get dropped, then that brings a different mentality to the club. I think the manager, I think he'll play his strongest teams in the 2 games, and then he'll bring fringe players on at the weekend when he's got a chance.
He should.
He's got to get wins. Anyway, can we get comments up? So another subject I'm going to bring up, I haven't talked to you about it yet, but it's, we've spoken about it before. But can we quickly say any comments came in there on what we're saying? Get him in there, or should be playing it now. Aye, that's right. Someone, they should be ready to play. Aye,
Ready to play from tomorrow night, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's us. We're up to date with comments. I want to ask a quick question here that I think we need to get this addressed, and it needs to get sorted. This is Scottish football. Is Scottish football killing itself? Rangers went to Easter Road at the weekend, a game that was live on TV, a game that could define who wins the championship, and there was hundreds of Rangers supporters locked outside. The stadium was empty. What is going on with Scottish football? Because every time Rangers play away now, there's a small Rangers support because we can't get the tickets and the stadiums are empty. What is going on? Surely that's a game we should be showcasing. Surely the stadium should be full. Why are these clubs doing that?
Aye, well, I mean, I've said for a while, ever since Hibs and even Hearts cut our allegations. Obviously, Hearts, we used to get the full Roseburn, and obviously Hibs, we got the full stand as well. But maybe not Hearts, but Hibs don't sell out Easter Road. Never. Hibs never, ever sell out Easter Road. Even in their cup final against Rangers, even in their derbies against Hearts, you're always seeing floods and floods of empty seats. Why can't they give us back the full stand? Why can't they do that? Because it financially benefits both them and us. So it's a win-win, I think.
Benefits everybody in Scottish football.
Exactly, it benefits everyone. So they do it just purely out of pettiness.
It is,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're killing themselves.
It's an absolute disgrace, and it just shows the mentality of these clubs. It's backward thinking. Scottish football is not exactly swimming in the money. And if you take Celtic and Rangers, they're going to fill any allocation they get. So they're missing out on every time an old firm team plays. So Rangers or Celtic, you're talking 25 grand a game. That's 50,000. That's 100,000 a season. They're missing out 100,000 a season minimum. Plus, it makes for a better atmosphere as well, which
of course.
There's also the argument as well, right?
It's
If you're running a supporters bus,
stupid.
Just now you're getting asked to run a supporters bus with 1 ticket for Aberdeen. Eventually, these supporters buses are going to go into 2 or 3 running into trips, and eventually fans get to a point where, well, if I can't get to the game, I'm not going to stand outside Easter Road, and there won't be a market for it. People just go to the pub, all because what they're trying to do is cut their nose to spite their face.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be different if they had their fans were going to the game.
That's a different argument, aye.
You know, it'd be different if they had 75% of their capacity. Say, let's say Easter Road, say 20,000. If they had 15,000 season ticket holders, 16,000, you'd understand it, but they want to get 7,000 or 8,000.
It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely. It's. I just can't get my head round why. I mean, why wouldn't you want to maximise the
revenue?
The revenue. It's stupidity, and it's just narrow-mindedness. It's backward thinking, and it's biggest game of the season, one of the biggest games of the season.
Empty seats everywhere.
Empty seats, and it's such a bad habit for Scottish football because people are watching that all over the world, potentially shooting around the world and going to themselves, what's going on there? It's half empty.
Yeah.
Aye.
And another one that I never brought up, obviously I mentioned Hearts and Hibs, but another one that I've never brought up, which I think the away section is an absolute disgrace now, is Pittodrie. You're lucky to get, I think it's less than 500 tickets away fans get.
That's another one.
Never, exactly. Pittodrie, 99% of the time, has hundreds. Alright, you can see floods of red at Pittodrie every time Rangers play up there.
Hampden, remember?
Exactly, and I'm going to bring it up, right? I think down in England they do it absolutely perfectly for away fans. I think they cater to both home and away fans perfectly. Majority of the time down in England, you're seeing away fans either getting a massive section, you're either seeing them taking up maybe a couple of stands, or a big section in a corner, or you're seeing them take up a full stand. I think, especially in the English Championship, I think you're seeing that a lot often. You're seeing away fans are catered to a lot better, I think. And I'm not saying that, see, a team like Livingston's or even Aberdeen's or Hibs should prioritise Rangers fans over their own fans, but cater to both sides, I think.
I mean, it won't happen. I'm getting to a point where I wish we would boycott one of them. Just pick one a season and say, right, you're going to mess Rangers about. You're doing it. You're putting us in a position where we can't run supporters buses and everything. So we're going to pick Dundee United for an example. This season we're not taking any tickets for Dundee United, and then next season whoever does it will pick another team. That won't happen, but that's what I'd like to see happen. We need to do something we need to fight back on it. It's as if Scottish football's happy to slowly get weaker. The great thing about Scottish football is the atmosphere, and they're killing it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And not only that, ticket prices as well. I mean, you're charging the fans that are going there, you're charging maybe 40 quid, it's getting over 40 quid now a game. And it's ludicrous. I mean, you go to football in Germany, it's at the most half the price. Go to Serie A, it's half the price.
It's half the price. Also, God, do you get the train ticket and everything else is all combined with your dealing on?
We're getting asked to pay double these, and the product. The product is crap. Like, I mean, if you go to, let's just say you go to a club, two clubs, and you watch the SPL, and their bottom leagues are playing each other. I mean, then you go to Serie A, even if the two teams at the bottom of the league there, they're far superior, but we're getting asked to pay double, sometimes treble the price.
To be treated terrible as well, remember?
To be treated like second-class citizens.
You go to Edinburgh to watch the football, you're not allowed a beer. But you go to Edinburgh to watch the rugby, you can have a bevy.
Yeah. And then they're talking about bringing in, rules where you can have a drink at the game. And, but you're missing out on 2,000 people buying a pint as well.
Absolutely. It's revenue. It's revenue because...
So here's an example, right? Peter's saying, right, Peter's on the Stonehaven bus. They're coming from Stonehaven, right? But they're picking up all the way down in different places, right? Can't think where they knew, but maybe Perth and all that, all the way on the road down, trying to fill a bus. How are they meant to run buses to Motherwell, to Dundee and things like that if they get 2 tickets? How are you meant to do that? And this is guys that would fill a bus every week.
Yeah, it's a disgrace, and the problem. I mean, we need to do something about it, and it's just bad for. It's just there's no benefit to it. Like the clubs lose out in the money,
pettiness.
The atmosphere is ruined, and it looks bad on TV.
It doesn't market the game at all.
No, it's
and I'm gonna. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, and then these teams moan about not, then they're the first to moan about not getting a full allocation. The Aberdeen, a cup final at Aberdeen, they're lucky if they get 11,000, 12,000 a game at Pittodrie, but they want 25,000 for Hampden.
Which in turn means a guy that goes maybe every week to see Rangers doesn't he get to it?
Yeah. So I'm not. There's never going to be a perfect system for these things, right? Because I get it. People want cup final and whatnot, but see, at the end of the day, something's wrong and something stinks. And it's just really bad for the game, and it's awful decision making.
Yeah, and I'm going to come on to it when you mentioned German football prices, the ticket prices being extremely cheap. Germany is one of the biggest footballing countries in the world. Some of the most passionate supporters you'll ever find. The tickets, as you said, they're probably about 10, 20 euros if you're lucky. And as you were saying, Si, as well, your trains. Sort of included in that as well.
The whole match day experience.
The food in the German ground is top tier. Obviously, you can get a beer in the stands as well.
I'm starving.
But it's a whole fan experience, and
wouldn't mind getting a big bratwurst.
Wouldn't mind a wee currywurst at Ibrox.
A big bratwurst in a roll at Ibrox, and a German beer.
A piece in Frankfurt.
The answer's quite simple. How do you fix the problem? It's quite simple what we're talking about. You send a couple of delegates here to Germany, pick 3 different divisions or 3 different clubs. Every one of the Germans do it right. Every one.
Absolutely.
The government's bought into it. They bought into the football thing. And how do you use it? We'll copies.
But the problem is here, the government in this country demonises football fans.
Aye.
And I take into account all supporters here. But
I agree with
what they don't realise is that it's such a massive industry and it contributes so much to the economy. If you didn't have the Old Firm playing in Glasgow 4 times a season, maybe 5 or 6 times, take the cup games into account,
Here's the hypocrite.
Glasgow would lose out on tens and tens of
Here's
hotels.
the hypocrisy, that's
buses,
right. See, when Scotland play in the World Cup, they want to change it then. They'll love the Scotland fans in, and
They will.
and all the bars will be
Yeah.
open late.
Yeah,
They want to have a bank holiday on the Monday.
yeah. And so the normal, everyday league, club fans are demonised, and Rangers and Celtic are treated. I talk about Rangers here
Awful.
just exclusively.
Rangers
But-
and Celtic, I would say.
So, if we could sell another 2,000 or 3,000 tickets, and that's, as I say, each game, you're talking 10, 20 grand.
Aye, it's just
Lost.
They don't want to market Scottish football correctly. It's bad enough the games are Friday nights, Sunday nights. It's hard enough getting people to football, but we've got people wanting to go to football and they can't get in. They're standing outside Easter Road.
Yeah.
How are we for time? Where are we? What time's it?
It's just about five to
Yeah,
eight.
we're coming to the end.
Catch your comments, Linda, and then I think we should let Linda do her debut for a few minutes since she's came in. Come on and say hello. I'm with your man. Yeah, I think that's me we're talking about.
I'm your man.
I'm your man. It's
I'm
me.
your man when it comes to footy, not these wee guys. Oh, okay.
Who's wrote that comment?
Who's that? User CC7's fucking. Don't know. He's not. No.
Fair enough.
Is that Linda put a comment in there? No?
I'm just glad I'm getting called a wee guy. The diet's working, man. The hips don't lie. I think we're going to get finished in a minute. Linda, you coming to say hello? Come on. You're saying you're a bit nervous. You'll not be nervous after that. Right, I'll finish after that wee bit.
Right. Come on.
Hello guys. What do you want me to talk about?
Hi Linda, welcome along to Gers TV. You want to introduce yourself and give us your opinion on the game on Sunday?
Okay, I don't know what the result's going to be on Sunday. What do you think, Lily?
No, what do you think?
No, game just there on Sunday.
Oh, what do you think about it all? What do we think, Lily? What do we think? Eh? I don't swear.
Aye.
Live on BBC. Please do not swear. Right, stop grunting. Right, you can take it.
Right, okay, so we'll get some comments. This is Linda. Linda's hopefully going to be joining us at Gers TV going forward. Good to have you, Linda. Look forward to working alongside you over the next weeks and months ahead.
Hopefully. No, I know, I didn't want to put that one up. I didn't know. Alright.
Really takes the biscuit.
When?
So guys, if you just use a wee round up and finish off, we'll get 3 minutes.
Yeah, so obviously it's been a bit of a strange couple of days because you had the disappointment of the game on Sunday finishing a draw, but we've also got the excitement of a new striker coming in as well. So what we're going to do is just, Lewis, give us your quick thoughts and prediction for tomorrow against Killie.
I think it's got to be another boring one. I don't see it being too exciting. I mean, Sai said 3-0 here in the background.
So I thought he was playing rock, paper, scissors.
That's capable enough to fight.
2-0, 2-1 or something. I don't think it's going to be an absolute goal thriller. I don't see it happening.
Linda, this is your first prediction live on the Gers TV, so give us your score.
One each, yeah.
One each.
Jeez, oh.
Confident, for fuck's sake.
Good to see you've caught the positive vibe of the Gers TV already. That's good. So, because I slack off Diomande and Shamiti most weeks, I'm going to go 3-0 Rangers with a goal from Shamiti, a goal for Diomande, and also I'm going to back Nderi. Hopefully that's his name. To come on. I don't think he'll start out to come on for the last 20 minutes, and he'll score a header. There you go. Then it's going to be Rangers 3, Kilmarnock 0.
A bold prediction for yourself.
A bold prediction, but we'll get back in the title race. Also, see, I think Hearts are playing St Mirren tomorrow night. Is that right?
Tonight is
it tonight? Okay.
It's just about to start.
Good luck to St Mirren. I probably shouldn't say this live in here, but I do have a little tiny bit of a soft spot, being a Paisley boy for St Mirren, and also
I've only got a soft spot because they beat them in the League Cup final.
aye, well, and let's hope our team dropped points tomorrow night as well, and we get back into this title fight. Still all to play for. The game against him hasn't killed us off on Sunday. We might look back in a couple of weeks' time and say it's a point gained. Who knows? But it's still all to play for.
and we've got a new striker in, hopefully bag in some goals. So, any final comments? Si, we're happy to wrap it up at that point.
Good numbers, a lot of new people on. Linda Hill, well done, guys. Good show.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks very much for your company tonight, everyone at home. Please subscribe, like, and share. And if you want to get involved in Gers TV as well, pop us a message. Linda, Lewis, and Simon, it's been a great show. Thanks very much. And always remember, guys, we are
The people.